And for our application, we have 74 over 100. We have 74 hundredths. And we have 74%, all meaning the same thing. Now, the way we simplify them is we can all do it different ways. I like, if they're both even numbers, I like to just keep cutting them in half until I get to the point where I need to use my toolbox of dividing by my primary prime numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. After I've done all that, I know that the number is in its simplest form. But before you get, this takes years of practice, so what I like to do is just start with if they're both even. So is 74 and 100 even? Yes, they both are. So I know I can divide both sides by 2. 74 divided by 2 is 37, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. Now 37, I know that most numbers that end in 7, look, 17 is prime, 37 is prime, 47 is prime, 57 is prime, 67 is prime, 87 is prime, 97 is prime. But we do have some numbers, 27, and we have 77. And that's because there's a a factor of 3 in here, and it's 7 times 11. But everything else is generally prime. And these are the patterns that you will establish as you work yourself through these. But this is something that is kind of a pattern with double-digit numbers that end in 7. So I know that 37 fiftieths is in its simplest form. So it would look like this. If I divide both sides by 2, I would cut my hundred or my whole up into 2, because the denominator is always how many pieces the whole has been cut up into. And in my original, it was cut up into 100 pieces, but because I'm dividing it by 2, I'm cutting the 100 in half. And because I cut the 100 in half, I have to cut the 74 in half. So you can see the 74, well, if I cut 74 in half, I get, for time's sake, I'm just going to finish. I get 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. So this right here is 37 fiftieths, which is the same ratio as 74 hundredths. And that's how you simplify fractions, by using your greatest common factor. And in this place, our greatest common factor was 2. Yeah, pretty cool how math works. It's a process of establishing procedures, looking for patterns, and then applying those patterns, and then coming up with a realization and being able to understand numbers in a very mathematical way. It's almost like a language. And so that's why we do this every single day. So anyway, if you want to make up some fractions on your own, just put a random numerator and a random denominator and see if you can have fun seeing if they are in its simplest form or simplifying. Do a couple of them and practice what you learned today.